What's going on, man? We got my New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. First of all, shout out to my New York Knicks. First time in 25 years. First time really in my real recollection of life that I remember the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals. This won't be my first Eastern Conference Finals game in my life, but to me it almost is. You know, we had a lot of, I'm not even going to get into it. You've seen all the memes. I've seen the Steve Novak hoops, the Andre Jordan hoops, depending on Trey Burke and Enes Kanter, pick and rolls. I've seen it all. Emmanuel Mudiay is my point guard. Landry Field days with Jeremy Lin, the Ivy League boys with their handshake, the little, I've seen it. Raymond Felton, point guard hoops. Anyways, moving on, man. Knicks versus Pacers in a rematch from last year in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Pacers did beat the Knicks in 7 games and went on to go play the Boston Celtics, who they ultimately lost to. But it was a great series last year. I expect an even greater series this year with both teams improving from last year. Both teams basically healthy. Last year, the Pacers missed Benedict Mathurin, and last year the Knicks lost Josh Hart got hurt, Jalen Brunson got hurt, Mitchell Robinson didn't play, Julius Randle didn't play, etc., etc., etc. So, I'm expecting a good series. Bogdanovich didn't play. I'm expecting a great series here. Obviously, we're going to go over the X Factors and all the stuff like we did for the last series. So, here we go. All right, the Knicks versus Pacers. They've played 3 games. They've traded blowouts. The Knicks are leading this series 2-1 during the regular season. Don't take much into those games. I would say I don't know how many games of those Mitch played. I don't think he might not have played in any of them. But either way, 2 blowouts. There's not much to look at, but there is something to look out. Now, the X factors for the series. X factors just in, not even for both teams, but just this one key matchup is Miles Turner versus Karl Anthony Towns. I believe whoever wins this matchup will show a strong projection on who will win the series. Karl Anthony Towns has won this matchup. He's 6-1 against Miles Turner. He's played well against the Indiana Pacers. I believe he's averaging 24, 25-ish points in 10. So I expect a really big Cat series. Hopefully he doesn't get into foul troubles. Keep Cat on the floor. Cat needs to stay on the floor for the New York Knicks. And Miles Turner, he's been playing phenomenal. He's really earned another contract. Maybe a contract where even Indiana can't afford to lose him, because he is a vital piece for their team. So I would say that Miles Turner needs to show up big, as he showed up big for the Bucks and the Cavaliers series, and not disappear. If he shows up and he can defend Cat, slow down his production, that's going to be big for the Indiana Pacers. I'm sorry, I wanted to say New York Knicks. I expect Brunson to have a fantastic series. He's seen some of the best defenders in the first 2 rounds. Not to say that Nembhard and Nesmith aren't great defenders. They are. But last year he killed them. I think losing the opportunity to go to the Eastern Conference Finals to this team, I think Brunson is going to come out ready to kill. I expect him to have a really great series, north of 27 points per game. So I'm not really concerned about Jalen Brunson. It'll just depend on how efficient he will be this series. As for the other matchups, I think OG and Pascal are just a wash. They former teammates. They know each other's moves. I think they'll wash each other out. So they'll play evenly. Mikal needs to force Tyrese into his passive ways. So whether that's face guarding him like the Cavaliers did and just making them play 4-on-4 basketball with Aaron Nesmith playing, they need to force him into that type of offense where Tyrese Halliburton is really not part of the offense. And for the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton has to be aggressive. Just has to be aggressive. When he's aggressive, the Indiana Pacers play at a top level, almost an unstoppable offensive level. When he's not aggressive and he's just sitting back, letting things happen, having 5 points and 4 assists, the Indiana Pacers look like they can lose to anybody. So Tyrese Halliburton has to be aggressive this series. I expect him to be aggressive this series with the NBA Finals on the line, but we will see. For the Pacers, their big X factor is obviously their bench. Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell killed the Knicks last year. Benedict Mathurin wasn't there last year, but their bench was phenomenal last year. The full court pressure that they apply with that they applied last year really wore down on the Knicks, and I expect to see the same. I expect to see 94 feet of ball pressure, try to force Knicks into some turnovers, turn up the pace, get out and running, start putting them in the blender so they can get open shots, pass assists, get some hockey assists. So I expect their bench to be a huge part of why, if the Pacers go to the finals, that's going to be a huge part of why they would win. As for the Knicks, obviously their starting five is great. Mitchell Robinson's going to have to be fantastic off the bench. Mitchell Robinson and Deuce, I believe, had a good series. No, Deuce had a good series last year, but Mitchell Robinson coming in, it wasn't there last year. Him being able to get the Knicks more possessions and really dominate on the offensive boards, especially when they take Miles Turner out. They're a very smaller lineup. They have Obi running in center at times. He has to dominate the boards there. I think that can be a huge swing. If the Knicks start pounding them on the boards, that can be a huge swing with their double big lineup. Mitch's defense obviously allows the Knicks to switch 1 through 5, so that'll be interesting to see. And that's really all I got, man. Those are real big X factors that I can really think of here. I'm trying to think if I draw the blank on anything. I'm trying to obviously I forgot one man that actually scares me. Nembhard. For some reason, I don't know what it is when it becomes the playoffs, but this guy becomes a demon. So hopefully we can contain Nembhard from not turning into a perennial all-star looking player during the series. And Nesmith needs to hit his shots from outside and stay out of foul trouble. Both of them need to stay out of foul trouble. I think we're going to see a lot of Nesmith on Jalen Brunson. I don't think Andrew Nembhard guarding Jalen Brunson is a good deal at all. He's too small. Jalen Brunson can just get to his spots, move him wherever he wants and get to his spots, and really dictate the defense with Andrew Nembhard. So they need to stay off that. And yeah, that's what I got, man. Obviously, you guys know what my prediction is. Knicks in 6, man. Let's just cut to the chase. Knicks in 6. I feel like it would be almost better, though, if it was like Knicks in 5, because then you get the Game 7 again, and then the Knicks have a chance to redeem themselves for last year on their home court. But let's just end it in Indiana, give them the same feeling that we had last year, and give it to them on their home court. Obviously, Indiana is a tough place to play. Home court's going to be huge for both teams in this series, obviously. Indiana plays fantastic at home. They've been playing a lot better on the road during these playoffs, so that's going to be big. Interesting to see what type of adjustments are made after Game 1. But that's all I got. Obviously, I'm trying not to be biased because I'm a Knicks fan, so I don't want to say too much in a sense. I'm rooting for my boys to go to their first finals since 1999. Man, this is crazy. Anyways, Knicks versus Pacers should be a great series. Let me know what I missed out on. Let me know some of your X factors. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this content. Let's get interactive. I'm out.